Filmz TV præsenteres i samarbejde med Solid.
Banshee's a town like any other town. Like any other town, we have our darkness, our secrets.
There are no words to express the pain.
What the hell is keeping you here, man?
At some point in the very near future, you will be made to understand how bad you misjudged me today.
Jeg kan lige så godt sige det med det samme. Banshee er simpelthen en af de mest underholdende tv-serier, jeg længe har set. En tv-serie, som måske ikke byder på særligt komplekse karakterer eller tankevækkende dramatik, men som til gengæld er hamrende godt skruet sammen, enormt velspillet og spændende som bare pokker. Banshee handler om betjenten Lucas Hood, som i virkeligheden er en erfaren tyv, som belejligt overtog den nye døde sheriffs identitet, da han ankom til den lille by Banshee i seriens første afsnit. Hood var 15 år i spjældet efter et røveri, og han forsøger at finde sammen igen med sin ekskæreste, som nu bor i Banshee, men hun har ændret sin identitet og stiftet en familie, så det er altså lettere sagt end gjort. Men udover en personlig krise og et nyt embede, så skal Hood også tumle med en stribe skumle slyngler. Det er blandt den psykopatiske, morderiske forretningsmand Kai Proctor, som spilles af Danske Ulrich Thomsen. Det er en vildt overgivet tv-føljeton, som er gennemsyret af voldsom vold og uhæmmet sex, men samtidig finder Banshee også tid til at tage os helt ind under huden på Hood og byens andre helte, slyngler og alt det midt imellem. Og det er svært ikke enten at elske dem, eller at elske at hade dem. Den talentfulde danske instruktør, Ole Christian Madsen, har også instrueret flere af seriens afsnit, og det er bare et bevis på, at seriens bagmænd er enormt kvalitetsbevidste. Seriens anden sæson er næsten lige begyndt, og du kan følge den herhjemme via C eller HBO Nordic. Og folkene hos netop HBO Nordic var for nylig så søde at skaffe os 20 minutters taletid med seriens hovedrollenhaver, newzealandske Antony Starr, den karismatiske, slagkraftige mand, som spiller seriens drøncharmerende antihelt Lucas Hood.
I imagine for you that one of the most interesting and challenging aspects of playing Lucas Hood is playing this dark side of his and showing it to the audience without delving so much into that dark side that you lose the audience's sympathy and understanding. Is that something you're very conscious of while you're playing the part?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a fine line. We go to some pretty dark places, but he has his own brand of justice that people can relate to, you know? We don't shy away from the brutality and the fact that he has become something of a pit bull. He's kind of a good man gone wrong now, but because of the circumstances that he was in. But I think everyone recognizes that the reason he went to prison is that he wanted to save his lover. So there's a real nobility to his character, and I think it's one of those things that people often want to see justice delivered in a way that goes outside the law, whether they admit it or not. And I think that we kind of tap into that, and also the violence and the brutality on the show is, because the show is heightened, it's not real, and it's very clearly not real, and so it makes it much easier for the audience to go in and experience these big fight scenes and brutality without getting psychologically worn down. You know, they can go in and see the stuff, and it's more entertainment than brutality.
Anti-heroes are extremely popular these days in television. I mean, Lucas Hood is a criminal. You've got Dexter Morgan, who's a serial killer. The Sopranos and Breaking Bad had protagonists dealing in death and drugs. So how come they are so drawn to these sorts of darker characters these days, do you think?
I think it relates to the fact that humans as a species are voyeurs. We love looking in at the neighbors, and we love looking in at other people's lives. I think that's why reality TV is so successful, is because we're very curious about each other and each other's habits behind closed doors. And I think that rings true with some of these darker shows that go to pretty intense places. It's a way that normal people can experience the darker sides of life safely without having to really get hands-on and involved. You know, they don't have to go out and buy drugs and become a meth addict to watch Breaking Bad. No. You know what I mean? So they get to see bits of that world. They get to experience it, but in a way that after an hour they can turn it off. They side with their hero. They get told a story. They get escapism and entertainment, and then they get to check out of it. And I think that is a very appealing prospect, because I think we're all nosy at heart.
I'd actually love to hear, have you got any feedback from any people in law enforcement? Because do they feel like, are they like, yeah, man, I wish we could sometimes take off the shackles and be like Lucas Hood?
It's funny, I haven't been told that outright, but I have had a couple of cops allude to that. But I think there's a part of all of us that wants to see justice done, and a lot of the time the law is restricted, and it needs to be to protect everyone's benefits and interests. But there is often a part of most people that wants to see justice go outside the law, and I think whether they care to admit it or not. And I think that is definitely something that I've heard mainly from fans, not so much from cops. A couple, as I said, but a lot of fans actually believe that Lucas is the kind of cop that they would like.
And some of those fights you get into, they're really brutal. I mean, I remember there's that fight scene in episode 3 with the boxer, and it's just so visceral and so real. Did you get any serious bruises during the shooting? Because I remember reading that you actually had to get stitched up at one point.
Yeah, that was on the first day of shooting season 1.
Wow!
I was doing a fight in a riverbed, and the choreography, I was with three other actors. It was me versus the Moody brothers in the bottom of the creek, and we got a little bit askew in the choreography, and he threw his head back up into my face and cut my lip open quite badly.
Wow!
We had a choice because we were really on a tight schedule, and we only had that location for the day, and basically I made the choice to keep shooting for 6 hours, and then they rushed me off to hospital and stitched me up with 6 stitches. That was my 6 stitches in my face was basically my welcome to school.
Of course, that episode 3, the one with the boxer, was directed by my fellow countryman, of course, Ole Christian Madsen.
Indeed.
And I know you've highlighted episode 6, Wix, as one of your favorites as well, and that is definitely my favorite episode. The albino is just such a crazy villain character. Is there something special about Ole's methodology that you like in particular?
Well, really what it comes down to is that Ole Christian Madsen is the real deal. He is a phenomenally talented director. He's ferociously intelligent and very emotionally available. He is the complete package as far as directors are concerned. And I think more than anyone, he really established the tone with episode 6 of season 1. He really stylistically took the bull by the horns and gave the show a much stronger identity than it could have had if we didn't have him on board. So we're very lucky to have him. It's rare that you meet someone who ticks all the boxes in the way that he does. It's just been nothing but fun working with him. So I know that he's off doing a lot of other projects. So hopefully we can get him back if we get a 3rd season and use him again, because it's really great having him on board.
And also, of course, there's Ulrich Thomsen as well, who's great as Kai Proctor also. And you guys really square off really well. You have a great chemistry. And you're both sort of foreigners being dropped into this huge American series. Yeah. Did that give you any sort of kinship?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the benefits of having foreigners in the show playing Americans is that we don't have a stereotypically American show. And the tone of the show is set slightly askew from a standard American show as well. So it really has been a lot of fun working with these people from overseas. And as far as Ulrich is concerned, he is every day if I know I've got to do scenes with him, I'm a happy boy, because he's just the consummate professional. He's taken that character that could have been something very stereotypical and made it extremely interesting and very layered, and he's just hypnotic whenever he comes on screen. Proctor is such a weird character, and that's down to Ulrich's talent, really, that even though he's a weird, twisted character, we want him on screen as much as possible.
Yeah.
So he's a massive asset to the show.
We were talking about how prevalent anti-heroes are in modern-day television, and of course,
Yes.
two other elements that really dominate TV shows these days are violence and sex, which of course permeate Banshee as well, which I think personally is fine because I think it adds to the grittiness, the raw power of the show as well.
Yep.
Is that your take on it as well?
Yeah, well, I think whenever you're dealing, first of all, we're a pulp show, and sex and violence are elements of any pulp show, really. So it's part of the course that they're going to be there. I think when you have those elements in your show, you're definitely setting a tone that it is not a show for kids, that it is for people that can take confronting material and handle it. You have to expect, though, when you do that some people aren't going to be able to handle that, and that's their choice, you know, and that's one of the great things about TV is that we're all able to change the channel if we want. So we really don't make any apologies for what we're presenting, and I think it's done in a way that if you want to look at it just for the surface value of sex and violence, then you can do that. If you want to look deeper, then there's many layers to the sex scenes and the violence. You know, all of those scenes are very carefully constructed, and there's a lot going on in all of them. So it really it's up to the individual to get what they want out of it. And look, personally, I've seen sex scenes in Game of Thrones, for example, that was some of the raunchiest things I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
I think we're quite tame in comparison to other things, but no one seems to mind with that show maybe because it's got dragons in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're distracted by the dragons and the magic. But look, it is what it is. You can make of it what you want to make of it, but we just present the material and get on with our jobs.
Cool. Well, looking forward to see some dragons and maybe season 4 or 5 of Banshee. That would really...
yeah, you never know. Season 3 might have a dragon.
Yeah.
Who knows? Depends how bad the ratings are. If we need ratings, then they'll probably put a dragon in.
Husk, at du kan finde alle vores tidligere Filmz TV-udsendelser på Filmz under Filmz TV-fanebladet, og også på video.dk, i iTunes og via vores gratis video-app.